All right, I hope everybody's doing well, hanging in there, enjoying the downtime, whatever you're doing. Yeah, I thought since I'm kind of late with the video, I'll give you a long-winded explanation and go over some of the blue fish in the fish room. These are the blue deltas that I got from Angels Plus. I had bought 2 pair and he sent an extra female. So the male, the nicer male is this one. It's got a deeper blue, really nice tail, but I think it might actually be a veil tail. And a veil is kind of exactly what it sounds like. The delta tail is like a delta triangle, and I don't think this qualifies. But it's a work in progress. I only bought this line to sell some trios. Not too much. I actually also bought them because I'm going to do a couple of crosses with my half black pastels, because I want to see if I can come up with a nice variation on half black blues, something lighter like I used to have years ago. I bought some from Stan Schubel many years ago and they were incredible, but they're tough to find. So anyway, this male has a ragged tail edge, and that comes from kind of like an ammonia burn, like I must have missed a water change or something, and the tail got a little ragged. So the other one's got a nice clean caudal edge, and there's no problems with it. So one of these females just had fry. They're somewhere at the top of the tank, which all I can see is plants, so I'm not sure. They're in there somewhere because I saw them when I did a water change. But very nice fish. I really lucked out with what he sent. I'm very happy. He sends nice fish. He's a good guy. And these are at the older end of the scale. They're probably about 7-8 months old. And when you buy fish from wherever you buy them, you'd ideally like to get fish that are 3 months old to 5 months old, in that range. And the reason is a few reasons. One is that they handle the shipping better. They handle the difference in water better from what they were raised in to what they're going to be raised in your water. And the other reason is older females and older males, they may be missing a couple of steps in their genes. So you may end up getting some funky looking fish. I think that's why I got the albinos out of the black Moscows, because they have not been very hardy. I got some fry out of them, but they weren't very hardy, and they were all black, which is good. Still a work in progress. But anyway, that's part of why you don't want to get older fish. And if you watch the earliest video when I first got these, he had sent one female that had like a little bit of a half black coloration to me in the back part of the tail. So what I did is I left that female in with these 2 males, and then I, when she was pretty well hit, I took her out, put her in a separate container to have fry, because I want to raise them separately to see what they end up being. And it's just to be careful. You never know. I didn't want to screw the line up when I just got it. So what kind of a dog did Dracula have? He had a bloodhound. A bloodhound. That's awful. But it's probably true. So, let's see, where was I? I was somewhere. These are all the fry out of those 3 fish over the last 2 months. Now you can see I got some minor league screw up there. I touched the wrong thing on the iPhone and it stopped the video. So I started to say these are all the fry out of those 3 females over the last 2 months. Now I normally don't combine batches of fry, but I had to in this case because I have no room. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull out the tiniest ones, which you can see are ones like that. And then there's the larger ones. So it's pretty easy to tell. I'll be doing that shortly. And I might as well say what's been going on and the reason why it took a little longer to get the video up. The pump I've been using for about 8 years, a Dolphin AV50. It's actually a Pond Master, and I don't think they make that model anymore. So that was kind of crapping out. I wasn't getting a lot of air out of it. I had about 20 tanks that weren't getting any air. So I took it down, set up the spare I had bought 4 years ago. It was an unused Dolphin AV50. And I hooked that up, and it puts out less air. And I guess it was a dud. So I rebuilt the initial one with the rebuild kit, and that didn't work right. I didn't screw anything up, but it didn't work right. So here we went into panic mode. So at this point, I had about 30 tanks with no air, and probably needing some water changes to begin with. So what I did was I ordered an Alita AL80 from Ken's Fish, and everything was great. Ken got it shipped from Alita right away. I was supposed to get it the next day, which was fantastic. It was FedEx next day air. And something went wrong with all the virus delays. It ended up taking 5 days to get here, which wasn't good. So I had one more rebuild kit. I rebuilt the one that didn't work at all, or didn't work properly. And I was able to get 5 days worth of air out of the tanks without a problem. So when the new pump arrived, I just hooked it up, got everything going, and now I have so much air, it sounds like I'm running a video to make people go to the bathroom, because that's a lot of bubbling. But the pump itself is not very loud. Let me show the pump. So there you go. It's named after my brother, Al. His name is Al. So all I really had to do was take this piece off here, right there, and hook it up to the new one, and it fit perfectly. And I had so much air coming out of this thing that I had to run around like a maniac, adjusting nozzles, taking them down so there was less air. It was actually pumping water and bubbles right over the top of the tank, a bunch of tanks, and out through the glass lid. So it was an experience. I got everything done. The hissing sound is the sound of the pump. The bubbling sound is just all the tanks. I mean, this thing's cranking. So anyway, so that was a nightmare in the making, and really slowed me down. Hey, it's Space Godzilla. I guess people know Godzilla's out of a job. He's got a new one. He's flipping houses. Flipping houses. That's from my brother. He gave me that one. Very good. These fish are beautiful. These are a trio I got from Lisa, who watches the videos and is an expert world-class shipper, and she raises nice fish. Look how nice those females are. So I realize this isn't a blue fish and a blue anything, but I thought I would put it on video and thank her again very much. She did an excellent job. The fish arrived looking super. They have adjusted to my water really well, and I will try to keep this line going. And if she wants some fry back when I get some, I will send them. Now the male's a little older, and you can see the one gigantic fin type pec fin is kind of breaking up a little bit. It's split, but you know it may heal back. But he's in good shape anyway. He's doing great. It's just a cosmetic thing. So yeah, we'll see. But he looks fantastic. They adjusted well to the water. She did an amazing job shipping them and really sent beautiful fish. So I'll actually finish what I was doing here and get on to the rest of the Blue Deltas. So what do you call a dog magician? A labracadabrador. Labracadabrador. That's really not good at all. So anyway, that was a terrible joke. I didn't have to adjust anything. everything hooked up to these nozzles. I've just had to decrease them. You can see a lot of them are decreased, and I'm bleeding off some air on some empty tanks. And it goes into a T, and then these are some other ones. Kind of goes over the door. There's the hot Borgata chick, and it goes into these tanks. So I have more air than I need, so I may actually try to find a way without killing myself to go from that end cap to run these tanks here. There you can see my gloves when I do water changes. So anyway, let me get back to the fish. These are ones that I'll be selling soon. I'm only going to have probably 2 or 3 trios, and I'm holding them to make sure that that secondary color, which it's actually less than yesterday and less than the day before, just becomes a shade of blue. So far so good. This one's almost completely blue. The edge of it, not the edge from U2, the guitar player, is a darker blue already. So these are going to end up being fine to sell. This one looks different because his color is just coming in. So within a few weeks he'll be fine. And so far so good. These look great. Very happy with these. And these were the first batch of fry I got. And I also set up a male, a Blue Delta male with the Schubel, or Dave Palunas actually, half black blue female, the only one I have left. See if I can get them to do something together. Hopefully not go out on a date, just have babies. That's really all I'm after. So, I also put somebody else together, but I forget what it was at this point. So, the other thing I'll show is everybody can make mistakes, including me. And I mentioned in a prior video, I messed up. I didn't cull the right fish, I guess, apparently, or something happened with one of the black Moscow tanks. I have 3 different lines of them. So what happened was these ended up being Navy Blue Moscows, which I'm actually perfectly fine with. But so far, all the ones in that tank are Navy Blue. Now, there you can kind of see that there's a filter because he moved. But if I can get this thing to focus, you can see he's definitely Navy Blue. There's really no black. It's not going to turn black. The females look black. So I obviously missed culling out a male that should have been culled that hit these females. So I'm just taking it to the next step with these. And I'm just going to have a line of Navy Blue Moscows. So the really no downside to it, because I do have quite a few black Moscows still. So I just got to make sure I do a better job and don't leave any blue ones in. Now sometimes they can look blue under certain lighting. LED lighting, because some of the LED lights have blue LEDs, a couple of red LEDs, so you have to be careful. Now this one, you can kind of hear from the buzzing of the light in between the bubbling that I have a fluorescent light overhead, so that's pretty much true color, and they're definitely blue. So there we go. So that's what's going on with this stuff. I have, I think I mentioned I have one more thing of blue deltas that have, they need a lot more time to grow out, and that's from that one female that had a little bit of a half black coloration to me. So we'll see. But this is thin leaf water sprite, and these are the Navy Blue Moscows, which if I can get them on the screen, it would actually help. There we go. You can actually see one. Yeah, they zip around. That's why sometimes I put the fish in a smaller photo tank. It's just a lot easier to deal with. It restricts their movement and makes it easier on me trying to catch up to these speedy little dudes. So anyway, that'll do it. The next video won't be so far off. I'm already part of the way through it. I just had so much of a problem with the pump, and it just was a fiasco. So we'll get caught up again. So, any idea where you take a sick hornet? The waspital. Waspital. Really, really terrible, bad joke. Alright, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, or you can leave them in the comments, or you can send me an email, or yell out the window. I probably won't hear that one. And just take care, be careful, and avoid the crazy people.